The sun, a fiery orb, dipped below the horizon. Whispering gardens, bathed in gold and crimson, hummed with unseen life. Petals like drops of liquid light drifted on the gentle breeze. Aisha, the spirit fox, stirred. 9 tails, white as moonbeams, unfurled behind her. She was a whisper of magic, a breath of the divine, her eyes pools of ancient wisdom. Aisha inhaled the sweet fragrance of plum blossoms. The gardens were her haven, a place of peace in a tumultuous world. She was their guardian, their heart, bound to them by ancient magic. Her steps, light as falling petals, carried her through moon bridges and past cascading waterfalls. Tonight she sensed a change in the air, the arrival of a soul seeking knowledge. Kenji, a young scholar with eyes as bright as the evening star, hurried through the palace gates. His heart pounded with anticipation and a touch of fear. He had spent years studying ancient scrolls, seeking answers to prophecies that haunted his dreams. Tonight he dared to hope he would find those answers. The air thrummed with unseen energy. Shadows danced, playing tricks on his eyes. He clutched the scroll in his hand, a lifeline in a sea of uncertainty. He had been told that in the heart of the Whispering Gardens, a being of immense power resided, a being who could unravel the mysteries that plagued him. The path was shrouded in mist, each step forward an act of faith. He felt a presence, ancient and watchful, observing his every move. He whispered a silent prayer to the ancestors, seeking their guidance and protection. Aisha watched from behind a veil of willow branches, her gaze piercing yet kind. She sensed the purity in Kenji's heart, his thirst for knowledge untainted by pride or greed. With a graceful leap, she landed before him, starlight shimmering on her white fur. Kenji gasped, his breath catching in his throat. Her beauty was otherworldly, both ethereal and fierce. He felt a tremor run through him, not of fear, but of awe. Her eyes, deep as the night sky, held galaxies of knowledge. "You seek answers, young one." Her voice, a melody of wind chimes, broke the silence. "Great Aisha," Kenji bowed low. "I seek your wisdom." He unrolled the scroll, ancient characters like sleeping dragons, waiting to be awakened. Aisha smiled, a flash of pearl against the moonlight. The prophecies were more than words. They were threads in the tapestry of time, each one connected to the other. She would guide him, but he would have to find his own way. The journey, after all, was as important as the destination. The prophecies speak of a time of great upheaval. Kenji's voice trembled slightly, a time when darkness threatens to consume the light. Aisha nodded, her tail swaying rhythmically. Yes, darkness exists, but so does light. They are two sides of the same coin, forever entwined. Kenji frowned, his brow creased with concern. But what if darkness prevails? What if the prophecies foretell our doom? Aisha tilted her head, her eyes shimmering with amusement. Doom is a choice, just as hope is. The prophecies are not set in stone, they are merely guideposts, showing you the possibilities. But how do we choose? Kenji whispered, his voice filled with urgency. How do we ensure that light triumphs? Aisha stepped closer, her presence both comforting and exhilarating. The answer, young one, lies not in fighting darkness, but in nurturing the light within yourself and others. For even the smallest spark can ignite a flame that will banish the shadows. Kenji pondered her words, their meaning slowly unraveling in his mind. He had been so focused on the darkness, on the possibility of defeat, that he had forgotten the power of hope, of resilience. The prophecies also speak of a balance, he murmured, tracing the intricate symbols on the scroll, a delicate dance between opposing forces. Aisha nodded, her tail swirling around her like wisps of smoke. Life is a dance, young one, a constant interplay of light and shadow, joy and sorrow, creation and destruction. To resist one is to deny the other, and to disrupt the natural order of things. Kenji's gaze lifted from the scroll to meet Aisha's wise eyes. So, we must embrace both the light and the darkness? Not embrace, Aisha corrected gently, but understand, accept that both are necessary for growth, for evolution.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They spoke for hours, the moon climbing higher in the sky, stars twinkling like celestial fireflies. Aisha's words were like brushstrokes, painting vivid pictures in Kenji's mind. He began to understand that the prophecies were not predictions, but possibilities. The future is not fixed, Aisha said, her voice as soothing as the rustling leaves. It is a river, constantly flowing and changing course. You have the power to choose your path. to navigate the currents and rapids. Kenji took a deep breath, the weight on his chest easing with every word she spoke. He realized that he had been so focused on the destination that he had forgotten to appreciate the journey. The prophecies warned of danger, Kenji said, but they also spoke of hope, of a chosen one who would restore balance. Aisha smiled, her eyes twinkling with knowing amusement. The scrolls never named the chosen one, did they? Kenji shook his head, a slow smile spreading across his face. He understood. The prophecy wasn't about a single hero, but about the potential that resided within everyone. As dawn approached, painting the sky with hues of rose and gold, Kenji felt a sense of peace he had never known. The prophecies no longer filled him with dread, but with a sense of purpose. "Thank you, Aisha." He bowed low, his heart overflowing with gratitude. "Your wisdom has shown me the way." Aisha touched her nose to his scroll, leaving a faint shimmering mark. "The path is yours to forge, young one. Trust your instincts and never lose sight of the light within." And with a flick of her nine tails, she vanished into the morning mist, leaving Kenji bathed in the golden light of a new dawn. He left the gardens, his steps lighter, his heart filled with hope. He no longer feared the future, for he knew that he had the power to shape it. The prophecies were not his destiny, but his guide. He would face the challenges ahead with courage, knowing that even in the darkest of times, the light within him would always find a way to shine through.